Corruption, pollution, death. This is the harsh reality that has been placed onto Ogoniland, where its people face a relentless struggle, and how one man stood up to change that reality. Ogoniland was a beautiful land, home to many diverse and rare species. Located in the southern region of Nigeria, Ogoniland was blessed with fertile soil, lush vegetation, and plentiful amounts of seafood from the Niger River. This led to the residents of Ogoniland, known as the Ogoni people, relying on farming and fishing as their means of sustenance and income. However, the discovery of oil started to change this hidden gem. This discovery introduced Ogoniland to oil companies who are eager to exploit its resources. Understanding the value of oil, Nigeria's government agreed to partner with these companies, notably the Royal Dutch Shell Company, which is now known as Shell. The Ogoni people were made to believe that this discovery would be another blessing, with the promises of new opportunities. However, this proved to be a curse, as on July 19, 1970, Ogoniland had its first major oil spill when a wellhead exploded that sent boiling oil into the sky and the surrounding area. The toxic oil quickly contaminated the Ogoni people's land, food, and water, devastating their communities and the ecosystem. The Ogoni people's torment only started from there. In the years 1976 to 1991, 2 million of the reported barrels of oil have been spilled in about 3,000 different spill sites, with residents reporting cancerous diseases. Despite all this, Nigeria's government chose and continued to ignore these issues. But before we get more into that, let's introduce the hero of the story. Kenway Baeson Saro-Wiwa. Ken Saro-Wiwa was born on October 10, 1941 in the village of Bori in Ogoniland. His fame first started as a comedy artist and a journalist. Following 1973, Saro-Wiwa wrote many books and produced many television programs.
In the early 1990s, Ken Saro-Wiwa directed his focus to human rights and environmental activism as he became more concerned about the growing destruction and abuse of Ogoniland. He saw fit to bring an end to the misuse of Ogoniland and its resources. This led to the creation of the Movement for the Survival of the Ogoni People, MOSUP, in 1990. MOSUP is a non-governmental, non-political apex organization of the Ogoni ethnic minority of southeastern Nigeria. MOSUP's founding values and goals are to promote democratic awareness, protect the environment, foster social, economic, and physical development, protect cultural rights and practices, and allow for the self-determination of the Ogoni people. The Ogoni Bill of Rights was signed in August 1990 and was presented to the Nigerian government and the Nigerian people on October 2, 1990, which was run by the military leader, General Ibrahim Babangida. And Saro-Wiwa began to call the Ogoni people together in meetings to address the destruction and marginalization of the Ogonis. As it turned out, many Ogonis were also tired with the deterioration of their home. Ogonis from different ethnic groups joined together in a march 300,000 strong out of the 500 Ogonis to protest Shell on January 4, 1993. This day was later called Ogoni Day and is still practiced today. This was when Ken Saro-Wiwa made his powerful speech calling for a non-violent protest, just like those of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr.
The money that has been stolen from us, I do not want any blood spilled, not of an Ogoni man, not of any strangers amongst us.
In response to the Ogoni's continued opposition to the government's agenda and by the request of Shell to protect their installations, the government under the control of military general Sani Abacha sent a military force into the area to silence the people. This led to many civil rights abuses, which my father Sunday Benuna can go and talk about.
The government and the oil company, the Shell International, they sponsor violence against the people, using our neighbors such as Andoni people, Okrika people, and Ndoke people, in causing conflict between the Ogoni people and them. They were people who we love each other, we were together. Actually, we saw the Nigerian ministry actually fighting, coming into the Ogoni people area and kill people, burn houses. Not only that, they chase people to the forest and then have to rape women, kill some people. Some people were killed, and people have to run for their lives, even to refugee camps. On daily basis, different things were going on. And then, yet, the oil company who's supposed to do the right thing, they didn't do it. So they were part of those things. And at last, they even killed Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 others at the Port Harcourt prison yard.
While these attacks continued, a tragedy spurred a series of events that would forever change the course of the Ogoni struggle for their rights. On May 21st, 1994, 4 prominent Ogoni chiefs were assassinated in a meeting of Ogoni chiefs in the residency of Bimenigokana, a traditional chief in the village of Gikoi. The government had Ken Saro-Wiwa and Ledo Mite, the deputy of Mosa, detained without a charge on May 22nd, 1994. Later that same day, Lieutenant Colonel Dauda Kumo claimed that Mossad caused Ogoni suffering, not the federal troops committing the crimes labeled in the newspaper. Eventually, it was released that Ken Saro-Wiwa and Ledo Mite were accused of killing the chiefs. According to Global Freedom of Expression by Columbia University, there were reports of mistreatment of Ken Saro-Wiwa. He was denied access to his lawyer and to his medications for his high blood pressure. Both his hands and legs were chained for several days, and he was severely beaten. After a while, he was even denied family visits. Amnesty International eventually called for Ken Saro-Wiwa's release as a prisoner of conscience. In prison, Saro-Wiwa wrote letters to a nun by the name of Sister Magella McCarran, depicting his thankfulness for her support, current events, and his plans to contact organizations such as the Unrepresented Nations and People's Organization, UNPO, to gain support from other European countries. Communication was so difficult that guards had to be bribed for mail to come in and out. On February 1995, the trial of Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 other Ogoni people by the names of Barinem Kobe, Saturday Dobe, Paul Levura, Nordu Ewo, Felix Nate, Daniel Boko, John Punem, and Baribal Bera began. After some investigations, the Constitutional Rights Project found that the judges were appointed by Sani Abacha and the supposed witnesses were bribed. With this information, International PEN sent a letter to Sani Abacha that was sent to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, protesting the lack of hard evidence and the unfair trial. Sadly, even with major organizations requesting for the delay of the executions, the Ogoni 9, as they are known, were executed in Port Harcourt prison on November 10, 1995 by hanging, with acid poured on their bodies to hasten their decomposition. It took 5 attempts before Ken Saro-Wiwa took his final breath, with him asking his executioners, "Why are you people treating me like this, and which type of country is this?" when they failed to kill him. This day has now been called Remembrance Day as a sign of remembrance for what the Ogoni 9 passed through and a reminder of what the Ogoni people are fighting for. Due to this, Nigeria was subsequently suspended from the Commonwealth of Nations until democracy was restored in 1999.
The Nigerian government prioritized economic growth at the expense of their people and environment, which is unjustifiable because governments exist to protect their citizens. Following Ken Saro-Wiwa's passing, his commitment to safeguarding Ogoni's environment has lived on. Even now, his family and community peacefully advocate against the pollution that still plagues their home. Ken's death shone a spotlight on the cause he was fighting for, bringing global attention to his mission. After discovering that the government had not made a genuine effort to meet the demands of their peaceful protests, a group of young Igbo community faced a situation similar to Ogoni's and resorted to violence by seizing oil platforms due to the Nigerian government's non-existent response to their peaceful protests. Most of this continued their fight against Shell, expressing their opposition towards the country's ongoing neglect of their land and the devastating oil spills that had ruined their once fertile land. In 2011, the United Nations Environment Program published a report that documented the catastrophic impact of the oil industry in Ogoniland. Despite the billion-dollar cleanup project initiated by the Nigerian government in 2016, it has been proven to be ineffective due to Shell's negligence. They say that we are continuing the cleanup, but no real progress has been made.
Ake bia Ogoni ake ile yira konyo we asiya yi nopa bia Ogoni nopa ile yira konyo we asiya yi sitam bia Ogoni sitam ile yira konyo we asiya yi balo bia Ogoni ba